Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Starting in this video, I'm going to start going through some of the key content areas in the physics syllabus. Now, obviously I can't cover the whole course, but I'm going to try and pick a few key things and analyze them in a bit of depth and give you a really quick bit of revision of them. Now, the first thing I'm going to cover is orbits, which is a big part of Module 5 in the HSC Physics course. Now, when we learn about orbits, it's important to remember that it is a case of uniform circular motion, right? Where the centripetal force, in this case, is provided by a gravitational force. They're one and the same, right? Now, when we learn about orbits, we tend to analyze a few properties of those orbits. Now, this includes things like orbital period, that's how long it takes to complete an orbit, orbital velocity, how quickly it's moving in that orbit, and orbital radius, which is just the distance from the center of the orbit. We tend to classify orbits based on these three properties. So, for example, you would have learnt about low Earth orbits, which are orbits with a relatively lower orbital radius, but what that gives them is a higher orbital velocity. You sort of picture it like those machines that you see at shopping centers where you drop the coin in the side and it swirls around into the center like a vortex. On the outside, you've got a slower moving coin, but it's taking longer to complete the revolution and it's further away. As you go in, it speeds up a little bit, and that's what orbits do. The closer you get to the center, the faster you're going to be moving to complete or continue that orbit. That's why low Earth satellites move more quickly in their orbits than satellites that are further away, which we call geostationary orbits or geosynchronous orbits. So it's important to have that distinction right in our heads and to understand and classify these orbits based on those different properties. Now, another thing we talk about with orbits is the energy in those orbits. Now, the energy of an object that's completing an orbit is the sum of its potential energy and its kinetic energy. But what's important is that you don't do any work to keep that object in its orbit, right? Once it's orbiting, you're set. It's just orbiting and it's done. So it's really important that you don't mess up and go, oh, you need to do work to keep it in orbit. You don't. It has energy, but you don't need to do any work to keep it in that orbit. And that's, of course, ignoring things like friction and stuff like that. Obviously, this isn't everything with orbits, right? But hopefully this is triggering a few memories and getting your brain running again. It's really important that you do your own focused study and do lots of practice, but hopefully that's a nice recap of orbits for you.